Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mrs. Pickett, obviously. Hopefully you already knew that. And I am going to talk to you a little bit more about area. We spent our last video spending time on talking about how to find areas of squares and rectangles, any shape that's got four sides. And we know in those kinds of shapes that all we're going to do is find the length times the width. And so if you remember to find the area, let's say that this is my rectangle. I've got one side that's 3 feet and the other side which is 6 feet, and I want to know the area or what the inside of that's going to be. I'm going to say 3 groups of 6, and I know that 3 groups of 6 is 18 square feet. So remember, that's the area, that space that the inside takes up. But you know, we have a problem when we have a shape that's a polygon. Remember, a polygon has all those straight lines, straight edges, and is closed. You seem to have trouble figuring out the area because you don't just have 2 sides. You have sometimes 3 sides, sometimes 6 sides, and shapes like that get a little bit harder to find the area. So I'm going to teach you a way today to figure out how to find the area of a polygon that has more than 4 sides. So here's my shape. Sorry, it's a little jaggedy. It's not perfect, but you'll kind of get the idea. So here's my shape. I'm going to go ahead and give you my sides here. So what you're going to see is this is one of those shapes that it has more than 4 sides. And so when I go to multiply, it's hard to figure out which 2 sides I need to multiply together to find the area, and I don't have those tiny little squares to count inside. So I'm going to teach you a way to figure that out. So what I like to do first is I kind of look at that shape and I take the 2 pieces and I basically just split them apart. So I'm going to take this line right here and I'm just going to extend it all the way across. Okay? And so when I do that, I end up getting 2 different shapes. Up at the top, you're going to see I get a rectangle that is 6 and 4. And down here at the bottom, I have another rectangle that's 3 groups of 4. Now what you're probably thinking is, Mrs. Pickett, how come we don't use the 8? Well, if you notice, I drew my line all the way through the 8. So it's almost like that 8's going to disappear because I'm taking this line and I'm cutting it apart. Okay? And I also am not going to use the 3 because I took that 3 line and I made it longer. So those are going to be my 2 numbers that I'm not going to use when solving for the area. So now I'm just going to solve as usual. I'm going to do 6 groups of 4, and I know that 6 groups of 4 is 24 square units. And I know 4 groups of 3 is 12, so I have 12 square units. So now you're probably asking, well, what do you do with those 2 numbers? Well, just like with the distributive property, you're going to take those 2 numbers and you're going to add them together. So we're going to take 24 and we're going to add it to 12. So on the next slide, I'm going to go ahead and move on to show you what that looks like in numbers, okay? Because my screen's getting a little messy here. So if you remember, I had one that was a 6 group of 4 and the other one was 3 groups of 4. So what we said was 6 groups of 4 is 24. That was my rectangle A. And my rectangle B was 3 groups of 4, which was 12. So now I'm going to take those 2, just like with the distributive property, I'm going to add them together. So I'm going to get 24 plus 12, which is 36, as my total square units. Okay, I'm going to do another one. And this time, if you want, it might be helpful to solve with me. Maybe draw this out on your piece of paper or whiteboard or whatever you have, just to kind of walk through the process together with me. So here's our shape. we have some measurements. Let's see, 6, 3, and then we're gonna do 2 and 3 and 5. Okay, so first step is we have to figure out where we want to cut it apart. Now, you can cut it any way you want. You can cut it vertically, so you're gonna go up and down here, or you can cut it horizontally, side to side. I myself am going to cut it vertically this time because I noticed I have a 2 up here, and multiplying by 2 is pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through. So I know that my 5 is going to disappear, and my 3 is also going to disappear because my 3 line got longer. So my first shape is a rectangle, which is a 6 by 2. So I know that 6 groups of 2 is 12. My second shape is a square, and that's a 3 by 3. So 3 groups of 3 is 9. And then I'm going to add that 12 and 9 together to get 21. So my answer is 21 square units. Okay guys, that's really all we have today. This is a trickier skill for area, so please feel free to rewatch the film, practice some more problems on your own, and then in class, when you guys come back to school to watch this and we practice this together, we're gonna really do a lot of these problems so that we feel really confident about it. So before you leave though, I am gonna give you 2 to try on your own, and we will talk about them when you get to class when this video is due. So I will talk to you soon. All right, guys, happy area finding today, and your joke is, why did the picture go to jail? I'll see you soon. Bye.